Good morning, everybody. This is Lindsay Huddleston with SPS. Welcome to another Monday Motivation. That is right. We are getting through the month of July. One more week left in the month of July. We'll be getting into August. Who is this morning? That's Michelle. I'm not surprised. Good morning. Up before the sunrise. I appreciate it. We're here for another one, Michelle. Another Monday Motivation. I think we all should be fortunate that we can say good morning, Monday. They say that Monday between, I think, 10 a.m. and 12 p.m., 10 a.m. and 12 a.m. are like the days that people have the most heart attacks because they're probably going to a job they don't want to go to. I'm just grateful that we all can get up today, and if it's something that we don't like that we're doing, we can do something about it. Why am I playing this music? I got to shout out my guys from yesterday. Shout out Jody Clemens, Brian Payne, also known as DJ Cut Nice, not to be confused with my late brother DJ Too Nice. They had a Stone Cold Groove yesterday. It was a good time. Yeah, Brother Marshall, it's been a while. How you doing, good brother? Glad to have you here today. You and I are going to have to talk offline and things I need to talk to you about. You know how we do. But was hanging out with some good people yesterday over at the Exchange. My brothers put together something good. And Jody and Brian were there with me when I had my Achilles injury. Jody was the guy I was matching up against. Big fella. Shout out to Darius Cunningham, my guy. Chilled and posted up with him. And Rich Lewis. I saw my guy Julian Darden. JJ was there as well. Got MLK. I saw all my guys. And those were my guys that I was getting down hooping with. And it was good to see them. Aaron Mays right there. Aaron, if I was a rapper, you would be my ghostwriter for the podcast. Aaron comes in with some great ideas. You got to get that top 5 ready for this week, dead or alive. I think we're going to go to small forwards. So you get ready. And yes, Kevin, be good to talk to you. I'll probably reach out to you a little later. So what is today's topic, everybody? Today's topic is, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to sacrifice? And the very interesting thing about this topic was ready to go for me on a few days ago. But I got some information last night that really made me say, I'm not just talking, I'm living. And the reason why I bring up this topic, Kevin, about what we're ready to sacrifice, Aaron and Michelle, is that I know people want things. I know people want to achieve things. They want to move forward. But the question is, what are you willing to sacrifice? Now, I'm going to quote somebody, Kevin. I know you're going to like. I'm going to quote Coach Jim Harbaugh of Michigan. Coach Harbaugh told me this years ago when I interviewed him at the Horatio Williams Foundation. Coach, he said, you can do anything you want, but you can't do everything. Now, let's not get into Coach Harbaugh's record and what people say about him, but just listen to the statement. You can do anything you want, but you can't do everything. So what are you willing to sacrifice? What is sacrifice defined as? Sacrifice is defined as a number of things. And when I looked up the word sacrifice, I cannot hesitate but say there was a strong religious connection to the terminology on sacrifice. So, but I saw this. I like this. The important thing is that to be able to, at any moment, to sacrifice the important thing is this, to be able at any moment to sacrifice what we are for what we could become. Sacrifice what we are for what we could become. Kevin says facts, you know. He knows about that coaching on that level. But I also want to go into some other definitions I saw of sacrifice. I mean, let's put it straight up as it goes across the bottom. Giving up something that is important or valued for the sake of other things. You know, what can we give up? You know, what are you willing to give up? Other things are you going to give up for the sake of something? And I think it's difficult for people to recognize that because we always want what we want when we want it, right, Kevin? I'll say that again. We always want what we want when we want it. And people don't want to give up things. They don't want to give up anything, but they want to gain so much more. But they're only 24 hours in a day. I started out with the cool music, which was a carryover from yesterday's fun experience. And I had a really productive evening. But I got up at 4:30 this morning. Matter of fact, 4:11. I'm not trying to brag, but I knew I have a full day. And I said, in order for me to get done the things I need to get done, I got to get up. And I was fortunate to get up without an alarm clock. I went to the gym already, came home, did some research, got ready for you guys, and the day's going to keep going. Now, I'm not going to try to go at this speed every day, all day for a number of time. I will get my rest, but let's talk about what sacrifice you're going to make. Now, this is the visual people think of when we think of sacrifice. You can think of Christianity and what Christ sacrificed. And with all due respect, I'm no heathen by far, but I can relate to that. You know, you look at the thorns, you look at, you know, Jesus being pinned to the cross and what he gave up for us. Now, if that is your take, and I know Brother Morris was a very religious brother in that regard, and I say that with all due respect, you can understand that. But there are other sacrifices, and Kevin, I can relate to you again on this. Sacrificing for our brothers in arms, our military men and women who are sacrificing, giving up themselves. Right now, USA basketball, with all due respect, they're having some difficulty. Yeah, they lost, Kevin. You know, they lost to France, and the reason I bring them up is because I had a conversation with someone. We talk about all these skills and development experiences. I'm right here. I'm working the USA basketball youth development that our young people go through. Now we're at a point where we're not having that same dominance that we had with the Dream Team years ago. So what are we willing to sacrifice? You know, what did Aaron say? To achieve anything, you have to put the work in, pay the price, so to speak. I agree, Aaron. That's it. Pay the price. But people out here, man, trying to get a discount on some luxury items. It don't work like that, you know? Salute. Yes, brother, salute. And thank you for your service, Brother Marshall. Thank you as well. And I know that's dear to you. But going back to Aaron's point, you know, as I turn the ticker off real quick, to Aaron's point, you know, it kills me when people want the most but don't want to pay the price. Whether it's, you can't get no discount on no Gucci. I'm not saying we all want Gucci and you know, Salvatore Ferragamo, but you can't get no discount. Now, you might be able to catch them at Nordstrom's off the rack one day, but that ain't going to last long. You know, somebody go call, so you better get over here and get these, you know, these shoes or that belt. You know, you got to be willing to pay the price. Aaron says facts, and I appreciate you, brother. So let's stay on that for a second while I got you guys going. Another way we look at sacrifice, this is the game of chess. If you guys ever played the game of chess, you know it's a fun game. I was teaching my daughter chess over the past year. She enjoyed it. But in chess, they say that the pawn is the most important piece because you can sacrifice that to win the game. And that's what we have to look at. I'm speaking to somebody, along with my brothers and sisters who are on right now, but I'm speaking to somebody, and not only just speaking to myself. If you want more, if you want to go to a different level, you're going to have to give up something. But here's the thing. I don't want you to think that what you're giving up puts you at a deficit. You're making room. Huh? Don't look at it as I'm sacrificing. Look at it as I'm making room for something else. And sometimes, ye of little faith, because we can't see what's next, we don't want to give up things, and we just get so caught up with what's in front of us, Kevin. Aaron, we get so caught up with what's in front of us. Michelle, we just get caught up with what's in front of us, and we don't rely on our faith, whether you're a religious person or not. I know personally that when I step back and say, you know what, I'm not going to worry about that, it allows the universe to work in my favor. So you have to allow these other opportunities out there. Sometimes you ever said, wow, man, that opportunity presented itself better than I would even ask for it. Sometimes when you allow yourself to have the space to move forward, you get opportunities you wouldn't even know of. That early morning workout, that early morning breakfast, that early morning move you made, you run into somebody who say, hey, man, you know, let's talk about this situation. All I want to say is to whoever can hear this message, whoever you are, when you give up something, it doesn't mean you won't get anything in return. And I want to talk about sacrifice for a second. Sacrifice can provide the freedom to achieve your goals and dreams. I know everyone wants to go somewhere. I know everyone wants to level up, as they say. But if you can make a sacrifice of something, if you can give up something, you want to lose weight, well, you can't keep eating what you've been eating if you want to lose weight. You want to change your relationship, you can't keep doing the same things you was doing in prior relationships to get into a different one. You want to better your relationship, you can't keep doing the same things you have been doing that got you in that point. I know it sounds simple and basic, but somebody needs to hear this. Somebody needs to hear this. Sacrifice is not a bad thing. Giving up something is not a bad thing because you make room for other opportunities. Sacrifice can be broken down into two categories, material and social. You can give up physical things or you can move your time. Now, for me, before I hung out with everybody yesterday, I had some work to do. A lot of research. I don't be playing with it. I got it done. I looked at the time. I said, okay, now I can go hang for a minute. And when I was done, I got back to it. But there was no way I was going to be able to hang and do all these things and not do the research. There's no way I was going to be able to sleep in until 8, 9 o'clock or whatever and get up and expect to have a full and productive day. Kevin says, I know the first hand trying to win a championship. I gave up family, time, sleep, and proper rest chasing that trophy. And I know it's tough. And I'm so glad you said rest, because rest and sleep are so critically important, Kevin. And it's so important that we get our sleep, that we allow our bodies to rejuvenate. And I say this as a sports psychology consultant. And rest is important too. But here's the thing. I told you that, I got up at 4, but I tried my best to get to bed relatively early. I tried my best. And I remember I said, okay, Lindsay, shut it down because you're going to get up. Well, some losses are actually blessings. Michelle, you speaking on it. I appreciate you, Michelle. You're trying to tell people that some of these things that get removed from us, some of these things that are no longer accessible to us, come out. John Higgins, Dr. John Higgins, I thought of you because I remember something you said, sacrificing an investment in yourself. It comes down to time. John, I don't know if you still had the same voicemail message on your telephone or your cell phone. Can't believe I said telephone. We don't even use that word. But you said, when one door closes, a window opens. I remember that. I remember that in this message, brother. That's my brother right there, John Higgins Jr., Dr. John Higgins Jr. Sacrificing an investment in yourself. It comes down to time. So let's talk about that a little bit more too, John. You willing to bet on yourself? You willing to bet on yourself, people? That you willing to make a sacrifice or something, not knowing what's on the other side of that? Because you know that there's more for you to get, more for you to gain? Kevin, you say you learn a lot from losing. And is losing really losing? In this social media world, in this 140 character world, i.e. Twitter, when someone says they lost, was it really a loss, or was it just where you are right now as you prepare for something else? I don't know anyone who's achieved anything on a major scale that hasn't had a challenge on the way. Use politics, for example. Those who have become elected officials have taken L's. Barack Obama lost when he ran for Congress. And it's interesting because he was running for Congress, Kevin. Congress meaning he was running for the U.S. House of Representatives, got his head cracked. But things opened up and things changed where that Senate seat made itself available. And after one Senate term, he was the president of the United States for 2 terms. Now, you couldn't have told him when he was running for Congress that, hey, man, you're going to lose and you're going to end up being president. But I bet if you would have went to him and said, would you be willing to run and lose a congressional race, become a 2-time president, first African-American president in the history of America? So I think this group of people are getting it. So I hope those who watch this message later can realize that sacrificing is what's needed to move forward. What are you willing to sacrifice? And Kevin, you talked about something near and dear to my heart, family, man. Family time. Sacrifice time away from your family now so you can be able to do something for them later. So have a vision, have a goal, have something that you're working towards. Because you can't, I would imagine that if you don't have any vision, any goals, you don't want to give up nothing. Because you just stand there. But if you say, I want to take it here. I want to break a generational curse of my family. I want to do something that's never been done. They told me I couldn't do this because I'm an African-American, because I'm a woman, because I'm this, or whatever it is. But if you're willing to make some sacrifices, there's going to be another opportunity. Kevin, I appreciate you. Appreciate all the people on my timeline. Michelle, for being an alarm clock if I didn't have one. Aaron Mays, hold me down here and on the SPS Edge podcast. My brother, John Higgins, brother, you already know. I can't even tell you. Was best man in my wedding, best friend. And once again, it's on. As our educators prepare to return to school, I pray that you guys have had a restful summer, that you can get ready to deal with this quote-unquote post-pandemic educational experience we're going to have. I'm here to support you guys, but I just wanted to say it's important to talk about sacrifices. And wherever you are today does not mean that's where you have to stay. Even if you have achieved much, even if you've achieved a lot, there's still more to go for us to reach our full potential. You are welcome, brother. Appreciate you for the motivation and powerful lesson, my brother. I appreciate you, Brother Marshall. So at this point, we're getting to 15 minutes. I want you guys to have a great day, have a great week, have a great month, have a great year, have a great life. And if you sacrifice something for the right reasons, you're going to get more than you expected. I believe that. I'm living it, and I know you guys are seeing it too. So with that, you guys go ahead and have a great day. Thank you for supporting SPS. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.